Hey guys, this is your host Scooby, and welcome to the Toon Balloon podcast, our outlet to discuss, theorize, and enjoy our favorite webtoons with the occasional anime and manga sprinkled in between. In today's episode, my co-hosts Bee and Panda will be joining me on a fun overall discussion of webtoon villains or antagonists that we find the most impressionable. We are going to be discussing a plethora of villains and antagonists in no particular order. So I know this will be a little different from our regular analyses, but I hope that you can still enjoy this episode and have some fun listening to our wild discussion on all of these different types of characters. I will be sure to leave links in the description box below of all of the webtoons that are mentioned in this episode. So, with all of that out of the way, let's talk webtoon villains and antagonists. All right, guys, so we're going to have a fun little conversation today. Usually we talk about a certain webtoon in particular, but this week we wanted to kind of touch on webtoon villains. This was kind of something we wanted to dish on a while back, kind of like a roast, but instead of just a complete roast, we're going to combine if we have anything in mind for the most impressionable villains out there in the webtoons universe.
There's a lot of them out there.
Oh yeah, and this is Panda and B. Usually I slide you guys in, but
I'm so glad you said that. I was about to say to introduce myself, I am B. This is Panda.
Yo, Panda's here.
I'd assume everyone's well acquainted with both of you, but I still gotta get the introduction, of course.
True. I think when you say we, people are like, okay, those people are here. Those
the crazy, council. It's cool.
Those crazy people. The council is here. The council has adjourned. Okay, did I say that right? Please yes. Cut that out. I said that word wrong.
I'll look it up.
Okay,
so
cool.
I think I'm gonna list out who I find my most impressionable villain, because at least for most impressionable for me, she's really infuriating. That's Yui from I Love Yoo. Mm-hmm. If you haven't read that one yet, she's incredibly snake-like. I'll go with that.
She's such a snake. She definitely is a snake. We don't like it.
I cannot with her.
She's awful. I just don't know what to say about her. I just dislike her so much.
The mere presence gives me chills, because she's just that. If she comes into the picture of the series, it's not going to be good, and the chapter's going to make you feel icky, because
exactly. She's so manipulative, and I just don't like people like that. And I just hate how she tries to control everything. And I don't know, it's just it's not in a good way. She's not trying to benefit anyone else from it. It's her, only her, and her, whatever she wants for herself, basically. Why you gotta be like that, bro?
I feel kids. When I mentioned earlier before we started recording, what makes her a good villain though? Because I do find that she is well written. She makes me feel creeped out and infuriated, and I want to call the cops on this woman sometimes.
Yeah, definitely. I feel also the art really definitely helps with that, because the expressions that she makes and just her, I feel looking at her, you can feel the vibe, you can see the vibe, you can literally see that she is a villain. And yeah, I don't know. I'm stuttering.
The mere sight of her provokes me.
Exactly. No, literally, I'll see her from a distance, oh my god, I'm so triggered. I can't do this right now. And I'm I can't do this. It's infuriating.
So I have not read that webtoon. Oh, you're good. I haven't read that webtoon, but you guys are depicting the person that I think is a really impressionable villain from True Beauty. I want to say you pronounce her name as Joa, JJOA.
So she's the recent that bully, right?
Yes, and I feel like she's impressionable because everyone has had that person that you've tried to be friends with, and then they all of a sudden completely stab you in the back, and that's who this is. This is our impressionable meanie face.
Do you see me and how I'm reacting right now? Anyways, I just like her. Those people, I just like them.
But it's so true, and the artwork. That artwork is you see it in the eyes, in the deviant smile. Even when you have flashbacks of her being a child, you can just see that there's just not good.
Looks psycho. Like she looks like a psychopath. She looks terrifying. The faces that she made, I'm just like, dude, like if I saw you, I would run the opposite way. Like, you are scary. What in the world? Like, how, I don't know how she made it as an idol in the beginning with faces and like expressions like that. I would be terrified. Maybe she bullied them to making her an idol. Like, that's crazy.
I would suspect that, honestly, because she hasn't given us, like, from the time we have seen her so far in the series, even if those little glimpses of her in the beginning, she didn't appear beautiful, you know, even truly beautiful, I guess, in the sense of the series name, because I'm like, unless she's super manipulative and she's able to like make people feel like, oh yeah, she's totally convincing, but she doesn't have us convinced. The whole time we're thinking, well, she's got the nastiest attitude possible. She's such a sore loser about anything. And she just harasses people. Like, I can't vibe with that. Like, I feel like if I watched her YouTube channel, I'd be like, I'm sensing some negative energy here. I'm just going to log off.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I don't know how she has like all those subscribers. They're probably all like the freaking messy people. The people who like
the drama.
Messy drama.
Well, she was a D-list K-pop because she couldn't make it big. Your fans know the kind of person that you are, and I'm sorry, but if you're not there to show up and show out, then no one's going to be there for you. One, and two, Panda should know of all people, fans are loyal. So if you screw with them, you've cut it. You're done.
Oh yeah, definitely. Fans, K-pop fans especially, like, we be hella loyal. Like, I'm talking from personal experience. Like, have y'all seen my room? Have you seen this place? I mean, you guys can't see it, but you can. Like,
I feel like you would be really upset if butter became margarine.
Yes. Yes.
I'm so sorry. That was so bad.
That was pretty awful. But yeah.
Oh my god.
I'll be very upset.
That's gonna be the promo clip right there.
Yeah. I really hope so.
Oh god, that'd be hilarious.
But seriously, like she couldn't make it as a K-pop star. And then when she went to YouTube, her viewers were declining. They talked about how she doesn't have much potential anymore. I really feel like the people that follow her are the people that are like, there's no way this person is real. They're waiting to see what she's truly like. They are in disbelief that she is just a scumbag.
I'm literally, that's literally me. I'm like, I am in disbelief that there's a character like this. Like, the author, the artist, all of them, like, yo, how did you make a character like this? Like, that is some amazing work that you're doing, that I can feel so intensely about a fictional character. Like, I feel triggered when I see her face. Like, actually triggered. Like, I'm just getting triggered just thinking about her right now. Talking about getting triggered. Thinking about certain characters. Can we talk about?
I'm gonna throw hands right now.
The two most hated characters from my point of view. Apollo and Trashta. Can we talk about that?
Okay. So they're just good to hate.
Yes, they are. Like, we don't feel bad about hating these characters.
Oh yeah, no. I feel no bit of sympathy towards them at all. maybe in the beginning I was trying to sympathize with like Trashta, but like obviously the way I'm saying her name right now, you can tell I am over that phase. It was just a phase, Mom. Like I do not feel sympathy. Like, how can you be such a terrible, manipulative human being, or being in general? Because Paul is not human. But anyways, disgusting. Like, absolutely garbage. Like, I just have no other words.
What is it that makes her like a good villain, though? Like, we can feel the immense hate for her, but what makes her like? When we talk about her, what's the first thing that comes in your mind when you think of her?
Disrespectful bitch.
Exactly. You're gonna have to beep that out.
I didn't finish the word.
Let's keep it PG, B.
Okay, disrespectful B.
B. No,
she's allowed to be in your
B
colony.
With her.
No, we decapitated her. She's not allowed in my colony. She's from the rival gang, and we said, "Buzz, no."
Navier would be pleased. She'd just be like,
I love Navier, but this is not about you today, Navier.
No.
We're talking about the woman that I hate from your story. Like, hate is a strong word, but I actually hate Trash. Like, Trash. You know what? And Sylvia Shu.
Sylvia Shu in the mix. Those two as a duo. It's like okay, here's the thing. Trashta, we love to hate. Sylvia Shu, I just can't stand his guts. Like, I don't even want him on my screen. Trashta is like, okay, we know something's gonna stir up.
Exactly.
And Sylvia Shu is just like, this man is just pathetic.
I see him and I am just like, I want to throw my phone across the room because I don't want to see him. I'm just like scrolling as fast as I can. I'm like, I don't even want to read the freaking words on the screen right now because I'm seeing you and you're just a pathetic excuse of a man. Like, no. Stop it.
Honestly can see Sylvia Shu and Apollo kind of like vibing together.
They would be besties.
Oh
They're
my God.
the same type of trash. They would be besties.
Narcissistic men.
So with
men, I hate them. I'm just kidding. I don't hate men.
Understandable. Can't live with them. Can't live without them. You're fine.
True.
I really feel like a good villain needs to do something horrible, but let character development happen.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to look at the positives, kind of like with Joa. The good thing about her is that our Barbie Jew has learned that she can accept her bare face. I'm really excited to see how the rest of that goes. Also, hat tip to Professor Lee, strong girl lead, let's go. When it comes to Apollo, we have our Persephone learning that she has a backbone and a voice, kind of. Like, that was just starting to happen, and now we're on hiatus, so we'll wait and see what happens. When it comes to like a really impressionable villain, I also want to go back to Siren's Lambent, because the one that was hunting them, at first you're like, I want to dislike this guy. I really don't like that he's hunting Sirens, but you feel like there's something there. And then you hear about his backstory, and then you're like, oh, am I okay with this? Oh my gosh, I understand. And then he kills his best friend trying to be lover kind of thing. And it's like, no, you just suck. You're a horrible person. And then you learn that his brother's there, and you're just like, here we are back to, I really dislike you.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like something's going to happen, and you're kind of excited, but at the same time, annoyed that they're there.
Yeah. Okay, for me, like, I really hated the hunter because of like how he was. Like, he was such an ass about things. I don't know how to word this, and other than that, he was such an ass. Like, the way he acted, his behavior towards Siren, I'm like, dude, you're not being understanding towards anyone else other than yourself. But then we get the backstory, like you said, and I'm trying to like, sympathize with him. I'm like, okay, like maybe. And then he goes off and kills his bestie. I'm like, dude, what is wrong with you? But for me, I think it was more of like a love hate. Like I hated him, but towards the end, I'm like, I can see why you did certain things, and I don't want to hate you. And I get towards the end, he was changing or whatever, and he's better. Like we see a different side of him, I guess. But like it doesn't really excuse the things that he did. But I feel like he's a really well written like villain, like you said. I basically repeated what you said, but anyways, I feel like it was really hard. I don't know. I hated him immensely in the beginning. I just didn't like him. Like it wasn't even hate. Like it was just annoying. That's like
he was
hate.
he was really selfish because
selfish. That's exactly.
He was so scared. He was thinking about his own insecurities before he was thinking about anything else. Oh, I lost my brother. Well, it was your brother's choice because he went after a woman. Oh, I don't like them. Okay, that's great. He didn't really consider anything else other than himself.
And I feel like those are really natural complexities that even a normal person would have. And I think that's what I find his character very compelling and impressionable, because even though, he's a villain and we can have like complex feelings and emotions towards him, that doesn't make him any less of a well-written character, because he is very well written. And, people do find themselves rooting for him in the end. And that's like a very difficult thing to do for villains a lot of times, unless they redeem themselves. He didn't have like a redemption arc either. It was just like oh, okay, this is happening.
Yeah. I feel like he kind of got redeemed towards the end. Personally, that's what I feel. But like, who can't be redeemed? Trash and Apollo. I don't care what they do. They can't be redeemed. I don't care.
Gosh. But Apollo, Apollo gets to me with I don't even want to see the color purple.
Dude, and it's so upsetting because purple is my favorite color. If you can't tell, I have purple glitter underneath my eyes right now, but purple is my favorite color. And it's like, my fandom color for like BTS. It's my fandom color. I'm like, I look at Olympus and I hate the color purple because I'm like, I look at Apollo, I see Zeus, and like, I want to punch your face in. I do not like you. And it makes me hate that color so much. And I'm like, but it's my favorite color.
There's been times where I was reading Lore Olympus and I saw a flash of purple, and it was actually Apollo's sister, who is not a villain.
Yeah.
And it didn't register at first. I was instantly just like, there was just annoyance.
Dude, yeah.
She's out there hunting, woo woo, what's up? Those are my animals. And I was just like, you're related. I can't.
I wonder if she'll ever have that reveal and how she's gonna feel. Like, I've always wondered what her reaction is going to be to that, because right now she's just confused that no one's being honest with her. And to find that her brother is the most dishonest character in the entire series, and her mom, for one, that's gonna be tragic.
Oh my gosh.
Another one is her mom, Leto. Here, just
yes. Who was the other chick that I was voicing for that one chapter? I can't remember her name.
Thetis?
Was it Eris?
Who are you talking about? Let me try to relocate this person.
The baddie.
Oh, Eris. Yeah, I don't find her a villain though. I mean, she's
technically a villain, no? But I didn't think she was a villain. I don't hate her.
I feel like she's the instigator.
Yeah, I guess. She's just there.
Oh, villains. How do you guys feel about Krim?
Krim is...
I feel like he was a puppet. Honestly, he was just like a puppet.
I don't know. I felt a little bad for him for most of the time because, he was manipulated a lot by like the main villain, which was Ophelia.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Going back to Siren's Lament then, Aaliyah, she was a beautifully written villain. Like, I hate her, but I love her at the same time. Also, she's a baddie. Like, yes.
Okay, so I can't say that I love her. I mean, I can't say that I hate her.
I don't actually love her, but
I will say that I love Granny. Like
Granny though.
She's OP. I love her.
She really is. Granny is the best. I like how we were talking about villains and we're like, Granny, she's the best though.
Yeah.
She is though. Like she really is. Aaliyah, she's a really good villain. I really enjoyed the depth of her development. Because we instantly were already like, yeah, we don't really like you. And then you saw how little she cared about anybody else. Kind of like when she'd get Sean coffee and he didn't like coffee. Yeah. So you're just like,
honestly, like, sorry.
You're fine. No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, in the beginning, I thought she was gonna be completely different. Like, I didn't like her right off the bat, but like, I did not expect her to be the biggest villain in the story. Like, that was so crazy, and I feel like that's one reason why I really appreciate her as a villain, like, because the depth of her character.
Yeah,
like her character was there was so much in her character. There was so much backstory and like so much put into her as an individual. I'm like, yo, that's crazy. I was not expecting all that from the beginning of Silence of Lament. Like, yo.
I could have been like, I really dislike you, but then when it just builds up so much about her, my big thing was you learn why she created the curse. And instead of me thinking that she's just like this, she's a horrible villain kind of person, I kind of felt like she was just an idiot.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I promise to love you forever, so I'm going to live forever. Stuff. You know, you can live forever in the afterlife. Leave other people alone. Like, I'm the kind of person that I like to suffer in silence. So it's an internal thing. I don't add people. Misery likes company, not in my house.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I think one of the things I found from her being so impressionable is that, you know, she's just this grieving woman. Like for like a majority of it, she's just this woman that's just, you know, completely flooded with grief. And I think it's really interesting that this is like a pretty interesting portrayal of someone grieving and not getting the help they needed, you know, and that's what happened to her. You know, she kind of neglected the people around her who could have really helped her, you know, move on or at least accept the death, because she couldn't accept the death. That's the thing. Like, she's here thinking, I'm gonna, you know, remember you forever and ever. And I'm like thinking, did you really like, did you really go in?
Do all that? Like, was that really necessary, bro? Why are you trying to hurt yourself for longer? Why?
And then she brought other people into her sorrow, but she thought she was helping them because she was giving, like, she was helping them, but she was helping herself, kind of thing, like a 60-40 ratio.
Again, I feel like hers was mostly for selfish reasons, not really with the intent of her helping others. It was mostly for herself, and she dragged those other people in as an excuse. And like, she says she's helping them, but I honestly think that's just an excuse to make herself feel better about doing all that and not feeling guilty about the whole situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was that way she wasn't alone in her heartbreak.
Yeah.
But so another person, another person I was gonna say
from freaking Romance.
Oh no, not him. Not him.
Okay. he's
I know we haven't seen him for
a while. He's definitely impressionable. We don't really see much of him, but like, dude, you're awful. What kind of a parent are you? Toxic AF.
Gosh, he's, you know, the thing is, you see him and he's just illustrated in this I don't know, menacing look. You knew it was going to be bad news, and it was.
Oh yeah. All we really did was see like a silhouette and like hear about him and stuff like that, honestly. But like, he was terrifying in my opinion. Like, I would never, like, that's terrifying. That poor girl.
The fact that she knew the steps that he was going to take when he is banging at her door. He's, honey, I love you, I'm so sorry. and she wouldn't give him what he wanted. So he just started changing his tactics, literally manipulating, just trying to see what he could do to get his way. That's horrible. And
so
it
awful.
is sad to think that there's actually people out there that are convinced that's love.
That's awful. It's absolutely disgusting that there are people out there that are actually like this and emotionally torture people like this and their kids and their loved ones or whatever. But like, he's a lot like Apollo in my opinion. He's just really manipulative. I dislike Apollo so much. So much.
I could see Apollo and her dad as like equal playing field. They're both just very easy to really not like. They are well written, horrible characters. And they're so good. They're not an impressionable as in like I can kind of like you. They're just like it's all or nothing. I either completely hate you or you're not in the chapter.
Yeah. Exactly. Like they're so like amazingly written. Like their characters are amazingly terrible. Like I don't know how else to explain it. Like I hate them with a burning passion. And to make me feel this way, like that's crazy. I feel like I say that a lot. Anyways, that is crazy.
I think Apollo takes the cake for being
definitely
one of the worst. I will say that usually like I like villains. In My Little Mermaid, I love Cruella. I think Poor Unfortunate Souls is a beautiful song. That's just the kind of person that I am. I can't find any traits that make me like Apollo. He's drawn beautiful. So when I say that he's ugly, I don't mean like the author has made him look bad. I mean that because his actions and personality are so bad, I can't see him as attractive. So when I see the drawings of him, yes, he is drawn beautifully. He is a very nice looking man. I can't tell you that he's handsome because I dislike him that much.
I think it's similar to how like Joa is drawn in like True Beauty. Like we know the art is fantastic, but she's purposely drawn like in this really unappealing way, honestly.
Yeah. That also kind of reminds me of Trash. Like the first impression is like, wow, she's really pretty. She has beautiful features. She's a beautifully drawn character. But because of her personality and the way she is and all that she's done, I can't find her beautiful because she has an ugly heart. And the fact that that's portrayed so well in the art and the story, like you can't, it's not like we're seeing an ugly heart in real life, you know, like, we're not seeing that, but we're seeing it, you know, like I don't know how to explain it, but yeah it's like, I
wanted to like bring up like, even though I don't know if she's a villain, but I do find that what she's doing is antagonistic towards the character, and that is Cherry from Eaternal Nocturnal. Like the thing she's doing is antagonistic. Yeah.
I actually was going to try to bring that up with Cherry and Mr. Lee.
Yes.
Together they are Cherry Tree.
Yeah.
They are the dynamic duo. So we've talked about it before that we think she's very manipulative and she's using. But in this last episode, not 17 that just got released, 16, when they were on the phone together, it kind of seemed a little genuine.
I couldn't read that chapter.
You haven't heard anything. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, she hasn't spoiled too much. Spoiler. But I think just based off like what we hear so far from her, like I'm not sure, you know, even though like they were friends in the beginning, like that's the thing. Like we're aware that they had a friendship and everything, and I don't know if she is, you know, just out of habit because of her career that she feels like she needs to do things that she doesn't want to do, and so she's kind of hurting her friend in the process, or that Mr. Lee is having more involvement in what Cherry is doing, you know, because it's wrong. That's the thing. Like, I don't even know if Cherry even realizes that it's wrong.
Either way, I feel like, you know, Cherry or whatever, if you're a friend, if you're going to be a real friend, if you know what's happening is wrong, whether your manager is dictating this or you're doing it, like, you're going to say something because your friend is being used against us. That is such a toxic friendship. Like, I think I know a thing or two about toxic friendships. But anyways,
we all do at this point.
Touching air, I want to fight them all. Like, that's awful. Like, dude, I'm just punching the screen right now. But another thing I want to say, like, the villains that like they're clearly horrible people, and we know that they're villains, and everybody around them, well, not everybody, but like some people around them can tell that they're like bad, or they're just like confused about it, because they literally make themselves the victim. Like, bro, what is that? Why are you victimizing yourself? You're not the victim. Everyone else around you, the people that you are affecting, they're the victims, not you. You're literally awful. Like Trashta, Apollo. Sometimes the way they act, Apollo literally super tough. He's like, why are you being like this? We had something. Like, bro, no, you raped her. You had nothing. That was forced. Excuse me? You're not the victim here. She is. And he makes it seem like it's her fault. Like she did something to him, when that is not the case. Same thing with Trasha. She just victimizes herself. Like, she's doing all these manipulative things. All these things. She ruined a marriage. She ruined, Navier's life, technically. And she's over here like, oh my God, I didn't do anything. I just wanted to be her sister. Like, no, ma'am, that's not what you wanted. And you know very well that's not what you wanted.
Oh, no, not at all. The fact that she left her kid.
What the heck?
How she doesn't even want to see her kid?
Exactly. Like, bro, you're the real villain. And then she blames, like, the dude that she had, what's his name, Alan, the kid with. And, like, he's honestly kind of irrelevant. But anyways, like, why are you getting mad at him? He didn't do anything. All he's doing is taking care of your child. That, I mean, yeah, she had a hard life or whatever, and it sucks that what happened, but you would assume that all these hardships and all these things would make you a person that was more caring towards other people, that didn't hurt other people intentionally, like the way she is. Like, you're doing all this for what? You're being selfish. You're literally acting like the victim in the situation where you're not the victim. She was at one point. I'm not discrediting that, but in the situation she was at, she was definitely not a victim. Navier was, and everything kept getting pointed towards Navier. Like, Sylvia, what is wrong with you? Why do you keep blaming this woman? You've known this woman all your life, and you're gonna believe this one random girl that you picked up from the side of the road because she's a good lay or something. Like, I don't get it.
I actually don't think that Rashta's whole story has been like told, and so I'm really curious what the truth is. Like, I want to know what really happened, because I feel like there's some details that no one's really like discussing here. We haven't gotten that yet.
Yeah,
I do too. I want to know her true parents and how she got into slaves and all that stuff. But I think when it comes to all of these villains that we like truly dislike, Apollo being number one, and then Trashta, Silver Shoe, when it comes to them, the big thing is they victimize themselves. They don't take responsibility. Mm-hmm. So I can't, at least personally, I can't give them any type of credit. When it comes to being a good villain, you take responsibility. The whole, yes, I killed them, wahaha. Take pride in your work. These people don't even do that.
No.
They don't even do that.
They're just really good, bad villains. Like, they're so easy to hate. And every time I I think about them or I see them even more, and like you wouldn't think that I can hate them even more, but I hate them even more. Like I didn't think it was possible for me to dislike them even more. The more I see them, the more I hate them. Like, how is that humanly possible?
I have a villain theory that Mr. Lee is going to be similar to the hunter in Siren's Lambent.
I kind of felt that too. I honestly think so.
The fact that he dreams in black and white and we don't know how he got that scar. He's scared of this person coming after him as a child. I really think we're going to get something that's going to make us feel bad for him. But then we're also going to be like, Day, no, please come here.
Exactly. Yeah. I feel like he might have been like a victim, like an actual victim for him to act the way he is. But like that doesn't excuse your behavior.
Yeah, so. Like he's always been like this since his youth, by what Day has described. And so obviously I think in my head that there was some sort of event that led to his behavior and why he acts the way towards Day as it is now. That's just not, clear to us yet.
But yeah, I think that was a really good like comparison. Like I think that was like honestly like I think that was really smart. Like I think you might be onto something with that Hunter and Mr. Lee out here. Similar vibes.
All right. So I noticed that we are about to trace that time that I figured we would probably cut the conversation, short. And the thing is there's always going to be new villains. And I always feel like we could probably have another opportunity to do another discussion in the future where we just talk about new villains in part 2 and just talk about other villains that become more impressionable to us in the future, because there are so many webtoons out there. And I feel like there's always a new villain that we will encounter in the future, which I think is going to be pretty awesome.
Yeah, I just thought of another villain.
All right, you want to?
But I don't really know. I don't know them that well, I feel like. So it's a webtoon that B recommended. I'm not caught up on it, but Phase.
Yes!
No.
Yes!
That webtoon is so good, first of all.
It's so villain, good.
What's his face? God, I can't remember his name. God. You know what? Let's do that in part 2.
Part 2.
Phase, y'all.
One day we will have a Phase discussion. We will have this.
Yes.
Honestly, I need that. So I need to catch up on it, and then we can have a discussion. I know B is like super excited to talk about it.
Yeah, she's been dying to talk to us about this, and we have just been slacking. And
it's okay. I'll get to it. I am a patient person.
Thank you for being patient, because I like read half of it.
You lightning read these webtoons.
Literally. Like, what are you, the Flash? Like, I don't get it. How?
Yeah. I feel like she doesn't blink when she reads them. Like, she just
probably
swipes.
So webtoons are the only thing I'm fast at when it comes to reading. Other than that, if I'm reading something else, it's kind of like I have to reread every other sentence.
Same.
I'm a math person.
I'm a K-pop person. I'm not any kind of math, reading, nothing. I'm just music.
Math.
I was like that. Like, I was reading Let's Play with you guys earlier, and I was just like, I can't stop reading this right now. I was not blinking. But anyways, that's for another time.
And we might have a new villain in that one, from what we suspect.
Sounds like I need to catch up.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm not going to talk about it right now.
Yeah.
But let me read it and catch up. Mm-hmm. And we'll talk about it after.
Yes, in the future. So we will definitely have to dive back into villains. And I actually think we need to make a counterpart episode to this, because we wanted to touch on our heroes and our strong female characters that seem to counterpart these villains. So one day we need to dive in and just talk about how awesome they are.
Exactly. Yes, I need that. I need that in my life, because
we
I just want to talk about my favorite characters.
We can have our strong women leads for International Women's Day.
Yes.
Oh my God, yes, that's such a good idea.
Yes, that's good. When is that day? Did that pass this year, or is it coming up again?
I think it's in June.
You would think we would know this, being women and all.
International Women's Day. When is that day?
Amazing.
February 12th was National Appreciation for Short Person Day.
Oh, really? Oh, I feel noticed.
Well, I didn't know. Do I count as short or am I just average?
How tall are you?
5'4".
I would say that you're tall.
I'd say you're average.
I don't know. I would feel so I am only 5 foot. I feel like short is 5'2" and under. Although 5'2" is tall for me, so
I'm 4'11", so I'm short.
Were you guys always this tiny?
Guys, we have 2 weeks. International Women's Day is March 8th.
Oh no. Okay.
Woo-hoo.
Here we go.
All right.
All right, we gotta make a list of our women. One day we will have this discussion. It'll be great. So
in the women thing, we could still talk about baddie, villain, women.
Yeah, we could do like a half thing. So we do top women, baddie, villain, and then we just
true.
dose it up.
Granny.
Granny. International Women's Day. And it can be like anybody. It doesn't even have to be the main lead, I think. It could just be anyone that really just
any woman.
Makes us like Susan.
Powerful woman.
Yeah, like just characters that make us feel good. Like Monica from Let's Play, she would land on that list for me.
I love her.
She's amazing.
I'm in love with her. Not just love. I'm in love with her, and I just want to make it clear I am a straight female, completely straight. But Monica, I'm in love with. I would marry her.
Oh my gosh, we're podcasting already for the next episode.
Sorry, guys. Come back. Tune in next time.
Tune in on the next episode of Top Women.
Hey. We're going to just have our own top 20 countdown.
Well, that would be awesome. We just make a big list, of any female character you think of that should be on that. So we'll do that day. So
any female character, I mean, technically, we should be in it too, because we're going to have a webtoon, and we're all going to be in it, and we're going to be amazing. Actually, can you make me a villain?
Make you a villain? In the introduction, top females.
But make me like a baddie, don't make me like Apollo and trash the villain. Make me like a baddie villain.
The ones that people love, like Cruella, Ursula, like the Disney villains. People just love those.
I want to be like that.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
If I'm not like an amazing, awesome, supportive woman, then I want to be a villain.
Yes.
Well, I mean, they're strong and supportive, they're like a tough love.
You know what? Yeah, make me a villain.
Can I be Ursula, but with jellyfish?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
I love this for us.
Those poor unfortunate souls. Oh me. Oh my. Sorry.
Right. We're like rambling right now.
We don't want to cut the podcast
sleep
off.
Deprived.
Yeah. This is what happens when we record late. We just start getting delirious and having tangents.
For real. I mean, I'm always kind of a little bit delulu, and we already know this because I'm a K-pop fan and a sim. So, that really brings out the delulu, but then we hit 11 p.m. and we're like full on crazy.
This is the council after hours.
You have tuned in tonight for council after hours. Come back next time, March 8th, maybe. I don't know.
You sound like you're trying to do like an infomercial.
I'm not. I was just talking normally.
And the thing, those come in at 1 a.m, don't they?
Yeah.
It's perfect.
If you'd like to continue this podcast in English, please press 1.
And if you want this in a different language, bye. Because we don't know another language. I mean, I do, but I don't think any of y'all would understand. Maybe, actually. I know Bengali, guys.
Yeah, Bengali. The last time she narrated a webtoon, it was kind of very soothing. I was like, she needs to narrate more.
Bengali. It was so funny. But a little bit Bengali for you guys. Actually, I don't know what to say. Never mind. I was going to say something.
Say, if you want Bengali, press 2.
Wait, in Bangla? You want to say in Bangla?
Yeah,
okay. I was confused. Blushing now. Jodi, I can't do this. Jodi Bangla chao. Doi press karo. Ew.
Yes. Get it, girl. Yes. I loved it. This is what we need in our lives.
Voi italiano mette 3.
Hey, yo.
All right, Gabby, what's up? Goobs, you got us. What's number 4?
What's number 4? I can't speak Spanish that completely. I'm down here.
I'm so sorry.
Where's the
Wait, is it
husband?
I'm not even gonna butcher my language here, so we're just gonna if you need the operator, press 0.
There you go.
There we go. We have 3 languages here, you know.
Bam.
Oh, I know a couple words in Korean. 사랑해, 여러분.
Oh my god.
Goodbye.
Yes.
I think it's time I leave. I think it's time for me to go right now.
We're gonna call it off. So I'm Goobs.
I'm B.
I'm Panda.
And we'll
Good
see you
night,
next time.
everybody.
Bye.
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 I would like to take a moment to thank my wonderful co-hosts and friends, B and Panda, for joining me on this fun discussion of Webtoons villains and antagonists. If you would like to reach out to either of them, I will be sure to leave all their links in the description box below. Let me know your thoughts and opinions of what we discussed today in this episode by messaging me through either of my social media handles. Both my Twitter and Instagram handles are at the Toon Balloon. I would love to hear from you. Also, definitely tell me any other webtoons, anime, or manga you are interested in, and I may talk about them in future episodes. The Toon Balloon podcast can be listened to on Soundcloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, YouTube, and more. Now, let's end this episode of the podcast. Thank you so much for joining me today and taking the time to listen to my humble podcast. I look forward to talking with you again. This is the Toon Balloon podcast. I was your host, Gooby. See you next time.